All right, guys, here it is. This is what we've been waiting for, Batman White Knight. And I got to say that I really did like this comic. Now, if you like the Batman Noir kind of Dick Tracy style detective series, you'll like this. Now, if you like big action, lots of fighting, you're going to like the first 5 pages of it, and then you're going to be highly disappointed. There is a lot of discussions, a lot of talking, and a lot of setting up for the next issues, okay? So, without further ado, let's check this out. Now, if you look at this cover, this is something that I've been waiting for a long time on. I don't buy into this kind of stuff, but when you find a good creator, artist, writer that is honestly good at their job and is also not a jerk, it helps. Okay, so Sean Gordon Murphy is somebody that I followed on YouTube because Captain Cummings kind of showed him to me, and then I started seeing his artwork and I was instantly hooked. I saw this drawing, I saw the fine lines. I mean, this guy is very talented, and then he's also writing it too, so I was like, wow, that's really good. Now let's see, where's the title page at here? Okay, so we got Sean Murphy's doing script, art, and covers. Matt Hollingsworth's doing the colors and cover colors. Now, I think these two guys are friends, if I'm not mistaken. Aren't these two guys friends? Put in the comments if these two guys are friends. I can't remember. But anyway, so let's check out this cover here. Every time I look at this cover, I notice something new, okay? I love the classic Batman style call in the sky there. I love all the little small details, like I love the diamonds in the name Batman White Knight. I love the yellow of the Batman. It looks very old school style. I love that Joker is very detailed. He actually has 2 different colored eyes. That's something I never thought about before, was the contacts with the 2 different colored eyes. I mean, that's even freakier. So also, if you'll notice here, you have Batman, but you have this guy here. And you're like, is that Batman? I don't know. But then I noticed this girl's dress with the diamonds. That's actually Harley Quinn. So that has got to be Joker, because if you'll notice the little subtleties in the colors in his tie and the flower on this jacket, very cool. And look at Batman just standing there. He's got his grappling hook. I mean, he looks awesome. Broad shoulders. Definitely looks like a superhero. And then you got the subtlety of the artwork on the side here. You got Hollingsworth and Sean Murphy signed their name on it. But let's get into this. We go to this page right to start it off, and man, look at that. Arkham Asylum. Vroom. We have the classic look of the car there. See if I can get it out of the light there. I mean, look at that. That is so cool. It's got flames coming out the side of it. I missed this to begin with just because I was caught up in everything. And then I noticed that the car actually has flames coming out of the exhaust pipes on the front there, like an old school hot rod. But then if you know this, the tires are almost like 360 tires. Very cool. This guy knows his vehicles, because to come up with all these ideas, you really have to know the inside and outs of the way a vehicle works. He's got fender flares, bolt-on fender flares on there. I mean, look at that. That's so cool. But anyway, so we got the Batmobile driving up. He's going to Arkham Asylum. He says, right this way, sir. I know my way around. How is he? And there we see him. Batman is actually locked in Arkham Asylum. He said it's been quiet. Hasn't said a word, Mr. Napier. And then I was like, oh man, that's the Joker. And so there they are standing. It says, Batman, I need your help. Wow, look at that. He's definitely towering over Joker too. But look how he's been brought down to size. And that sets up the story. I got to tell you, that's 1 year ago now that this is happening. I mean, when I read this, I was really surprised at how good he's done telling stories. And look at all the little nuances here. All the little Easter eggs, if you'll say. Look, the classic scene of the Batman movie there. And then you got the old school Batman on the airplane there, the Joker card. I mean, this is really cool. You got the Batman animated series there. Now this kind of looks like almost like the Dark Knight movies there. And then you got other little Easter eggs down through here. Let's see what else we can find. There's more animated series. There's the classic Batman Tim Burton movie car. There's the rest of the cars. One of the first ones there. Oh, I think I see the tumbler. There's the tumbler. Is that the Batman versus Superman Batmobile? I think it is. Got some more. And then you've got the rug there. You've got a little rug. Skateboard. I mean, that's really cool. That looks like the classic Batman belt there. But you can really tell he likes Batman the animated series because that's the way most of these Batmans look. But then I just now noticed that. That is so cool. But anyway, so there's Joker. He's waking up from his nightmare, which is Batman. But I really like this because, like someone said earlier in another video, what happens when you take away the Joker? Okay, you always had Batman and the Joker. That's the two halves of a coin. What happens when you take away one of those halves? Well, then your hero becomes a villain. And what happens when Batman is a villain? I mean, that's kind of insane. What happens when a Joker is a good guy? And that's really what this story tells. And you got some good action here in the beginning. It's not really action, it's really just Batman beating down the Joker for all intents and purposes. I love the two different colored eyes. I know I talked about that before. The action here is pretty cool at certain times. Like I said, there's not a lot of it, but I really like the design of the bat suit there. It's a classic style, so it really shows like he draws him in old school fitness kind of way. You know, like the 1950s, 1940s, the bodybuilders and stuff, the way they looked. That's really the way he kind of draws Batman. But he still towers over people. And then look at this splash page here. This really got me asking a lot of questions. Let's look at some of this here. So it really kind of tells the story from beginning to end. You've got the Joker. He tries his comedy. It doesn't work out. He takes the crime, meets Harley Quinn, and it doesn't work out. And then it all comes crashing down. He tells a whole story on one page. And this is all hand-drawn artwork. I mean, this is just great. This really made me wonder, like, where's Harley Quinn? What happened to her? She's got the "Why Don't You Love Me" on there. I mean, this, if you even look very closely, Jack Napier falls to acid. I mean, they really do a good job with this. You got that splash page there. There's going to be some more pages. Now, at the beginning of this story, Batman really loses his stuff. I mean, he goes crazy on Joker in front of everybody. Everybody sees it. And then that's where we kind of start the story off. And then at that point, Joker gets hold of some pills, tricks Batman into making him take them. You know, pretty much overdoses. They have to take him to the hospital. And then at this point, everybody's freaking out. You know, they see Batman as a vigilante. And that's where the story kind of takes off. So let's talk about some of the other characters. We have Batgirl in it. And we also have Nightwing. Nightwing's got his motorcycle. And he actually catches a construction worker in the air as they're flying up in the air and catches them. Is that not awesome? Then there's Batgirl again. I love the way they're drawn. And look at this. Look at some of this art. I mean, my gosh. Very old school looking, but at the same time has a new edge to it. It's just, you don't see this anymore. You know, it's really kind of fallen away, especially at Marvel. My gosh, look at this stuff compared to Marvel. And see, it's dark in a noir kind of detective style, but it's not muddy. Like, you can totally tell what's going on. Look at the way they draw their faces. Emotion, you can see the emotions in their faces from a distance just by, you know, simple sketching. And everybody's got emotion. They're all looking at what's going on. I love Nightwing's costume with the jacket. That's really cool. It's got an old school feel to it because they added the jacket kind of motorcyclist style. But all in all, I give this comic book probably a 9 out of 10. I mean, I hate hate a lot of dialogue in a comic book. I hate it. Okay? I want a lot of action. I want like 4 or 5 bubbles talking about something and the rest of it action. But when I read this, I didn't get bored. At first I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't read all this. This is garbage. But then when I read it, it made a lot of sense. And they tied it in. I mean, look at all the dialogue here. You're just going to go, wow, I'm not reading all that. But if you will, you'll get a lot out of it. At this point, Joker is very intelligent. He knows what he's doing. They talk about how smart he is, and if you know what's good for you, you'll get out of his way because he's got big plans for the city. And right here he says, so I'm going to be her white knight. I mean, you are in for it. So this is going to be a crazy series, but there's something going on with Alfred. I won't ruin that for you. And see, Alfred is really Batman's compass, okay? He is his father figure. And that's the reason Batman's kind of gone off the rails in this comic book a little bit, because he's kind of like a child with the rest of these children. They look to him as a father, but he looks to Alfred as a father. So you've got these little nuances. You've got these little, this is the son that has moved away to get away from his disgruntled father. This is the daughter that is still hoping that there's something in the dad. And then you've got the real reason why the dad has been upset all along, which is Alfred is not doing well. And then you see these little moments like this, and then they all realize what's going on. But at this point, it may be too late because he's already done things that have been out in the public, and there may be no way for him to fix the situation. Now, I won't ruin it for you. I want you to read it. That's why I'm not going through the whole comic book, but you really do need to check this comic out. Now, if you're looking for a bunch of action, this is not your comic. But if you bought that Batman Noir comic book that they gave you and it sucked, then you need to check this out because this is really cool. This seems like an old school movie or maybe a new movie that they redid in the old school way. I mean, this is a lot of fun. I mean, just look at the Joker. And see the Batgirl there? And see the Batgirl is not even drawn. Like, I would say she's not drawn that feminine. She has a very pretty face, but she's not drawn that feminine, and it didn't even matter because the story is just that good. He does it very subtly without being trashy to make her very feminine. Now, of course, she has no boobs, but I mean, I don't know. At this point, are we really surprised? Because look at what Marvel does. But there again, it's small things like that. Check out some of these scenes here. But, you know, I could keep going on and on about this comic. I've been waiting for it a long time, and now it's here, and it has delivered. I'm so excited to keep reading this. I know people are thinking, oh my God, another Batman book. I'm so tired of it. But this guy right here is all the difference. You could stop the other Batman books and have just DC Dark Knight's Metal and this story right here, and you would be perfectly fine. I don't know if you're reading The Shadow and the Batman, which came out this week. I was reading the Batman and the Shadow, and I didn't actually know that those are 2 different series. So now I've got to catch up with the Shadow Batman. But if you like stories like that, you'll like this. A lot of detective stuff going on, a lot of subtleties. You got the darker artwork, like your older school comics. I mean, it's going to be good. Like when I say detective, people are like, "What do you mean detective? What do you mean detective?" There's a lot of thinking. There's a lot of talking, discussing, figuring things out in the background, in the back streets. You know, kind of things going on. There's a lot of thinking. But anyway, check this book out. It's Batman White Knight #1. It came out this week for $3.99. I think that's a steal. This is going to be one of those stories that they talk about years from now. Definitely check it out, guys. All right, Underground Geek out. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.